Well, 2026 just started, and it looks like I already have my first disappointment. No Other Choice is the new film from Park Chan-wook, the director of Oldboy. That is the only one of his movies I've seen. I need to delve more into his filmography, but Oldboy is incredible, and I heard a lot of hype surrounding this film, and it didn't live up to it for me, but there's a lot of good on display here. I still think it's a good movie. I get why a lot of people really like it. And I'm going to talk about all those good things first, before we get into the reasons why it didn't fully connect for me. So I love the premise that we're working with here. A man has been working this job for this paper company for 25 years, blood, sweat, and tears. He's finally been able to buy his dream home. He's doing really well with his wife, his kids, his dogs. Just like that, he's gone. These Americans come, take over the company, he's fired. Very understandable predicament. A lot of people know what that's like, especially in the age of advancing AI, as more and more jobs are in danger of being taken over and there aren't going to be new ones to replace them. This is a fear that a lot of people are getting even more nowadays, and to see a man who has done everything right and yet still gets fucked over, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how committed you were to this corporation. The corporation sees you as nothing more than replaceable. If they can throw you away to save a couple bucks that they don't need, they will. And in our main character's search for a new job, he realizes the competition's going to be pretty fierce. How do I make sure that they choose me for the position? Well, if my other competing interviewees die, there'll be no other choice. They'll have to hire me. So he chooses violence. It's time to murder some innocent people. It's a dark comedy. It does a good job establishing his scenario, making you feel for him, even as he starts doing this obviously terrible, absurd thing of murdering these people who are in the exact same predicament that he's in. They've done nothing wrong, but of course, the workers have been turned against each other rather than aiming their anger at the people up top who actually deserve it. But that's where the performance of the lead actor Lee Byung-hun comes in, because you have to have that charm to him as he starts doing these terrible things and you can no longer actually root for him. You still have to feel like you're enjoying watching the guy as he descends further and further into madness, and he really nails that. The technical elements are phenomenal across the board. I love the way he shoots certain things, even mundane things like revealing that our main character is hiding behind some kind of a bush or something, watching someone. The way he moves the camera into that position is unlike how so many other people would have decided to shoot that scene. And throughout the whole movie, it just looks great. The cinematography is beautiful. Just the locations that we're in, the house that he's bought, the gardening, there's a lot of plant life. It's all very colorful. It's very good looking. The music is really good. The scene transitions are creative. I really like seeing a lot of the awkward comedy as our main character begins his mission of something that he is absolutely terrible at, like building himself up emotionally, mentally, to be able to take a person's life and then fumbling along. Those were the most entertaining moments for me, the funniest ones, where he is just not competent at this at all, as you wouldn't expect him to be. He's not a professional assassin. Where my issues come in are really with two major things. Number one is the length and the pacing. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I thought it was way too long. There are certain subplots that I think could have been basically removed entirely. There's this whole section where he thinks his wife is cheating on him. She's at this dance with her boss, and he goes there and he gets all sad about that. There's this other subplot where his son gets arrested because he's trying to do some stuff to help the family's financial situation. And these are in there just to show the family's desperation, really hammer home their situation as a whole. But I really got that already. The beginning of the movie takes a little while before we get into the murdering, and in that long buildup, I was on board with the scenario. I understood their situation, and now once we've really begun with the premise of the film, I really thought it would have been better to just stay laser focused on that and more on our main character. When we focused on the wife potentially cheating, which never comes up again, or the son committing this crime, which never comes up again, I just was not nearly as engaged by any of those scenes. I thought it meandered a little bit too much. Even with some of the victims, there's like a scene before we get to the main scene where he really wants to kill one of the victims. We have another scene before that where he's spying on them, and the wife is just like exposition dumping the husband's life to him. She's just like telling the husband, hey, you remember all of these nice things that we have done together and all of these things that you have done as a person? Like humanizing him and giving him character by really awkward exposition dump. And it just felt like too much. It felt like it was dragging on too long and we didn't need that. Besides the pacing, the other thing that didn't fully work for me is the tone. It's a really difficult balance to strike, and I really respect Park Chan-wook for going for it and doing a better job than a lot of people would have been able to do, but it just didn't totally work for me. When he's thinking about killing his first victim, he's standing on a roof holding a flower pot that he's thinking about dropping onto the guy's head, and after waiting for a while, he puts it down. And I'm thinking, okay, he's decided that he can't do it. He can't bring himself to kill this man. But no, the reason he put the flower pot down is because he wanted to pick up a heavier one instead. That's hilarious. And that's the kind of shit that I like. But so much of this movie gets genuinely very serious and dark and just sad. And I appreciate some of that because it's a very relatable situation, especially with the way the movie ends. I think it really hammers home the point. It's a very obvious point, but it does make it very clear. There's definitely room in the movie for that, but I think some scenes were just treated far too seriously for me, considering the absurdity of the premise. This man going around killing other people who are trying to get a job at a paper company because he wants the job so bad and he won't settle for any other job that's not at a paper company of all things, because that's his bread and butter. He knows about paper like Michael fucking Scott. It's very absurd, and the message is very obvious. It's not deep whatsoever. You get it from the beginning the entire time. So be goofy with it. Have fun. I didn't really fully connect with the more somber scenes and like the police investigating him and everything. And I've seen some other reviews where people said it was too goofy. They wanted it to be more serious. And some people are gonna think it's the perfect blend. It's a completely personal thing, but for me, I connected a lot more with the absurd elements when he's fumbling around, trying to get all of this done, trying to hide what he's done. That was the entertainment for me. Whenever we cut away to other characters and their little subplots, or whenever we focus on the more serious side of it, that just was not as engaging for me. So even though I appreciate a lot of these elements, I think it's a pretty good movie. I'm glad I saw it. Those things make it so that I didn't really feel like I want to watch it again. So I'd probably give it around like a 6. Again, good movie. If you're a fan of the director, definitely some noteworthy work here. There's a lot of really good elements. It's worth checking out, but maybe manage your expectations because it is the type of film that is not going to be for everybody. There are just certain choices made that are going to work for some more than others. I wish it had been better for me. There was a lot of expectations surrounding this. Maybe I had too high expectations, but oh well. It's one of those situations where a limited release takes so long to actually expand wider and be viewable to everybody else that by the time it gets to you, there is all of that hype. But I still enjoyed watching it, and I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments because this was all just my opinion. Did the tone really work for you? Did you think it needed to be funnier, more serious? How about the pacing? How about all the commentary, the technical work? I really enjoyed a lot of elements to this movie, even though I had issues with it. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. We could talk about it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more from me. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time.